The mansion was never this quiet. Maria had worked there for 3 years, cleaning rooms so large they echoed when she spoke, polishing floors that reflected chandeliers like stars. Normally, the house buzzed with staff, footsteps, and distant music. Tonight it felt wrong. She checked her phone again. No missed calls. No messages. The security guard had told her the owners were away. That was why she'd agreed to stay late. To finish one last shift and pick up her baby from the nanny's room upstairs. Maria pushed open the nursery door. Empty crib. Her heart slammed into her chest. Leah? She whispered, panic tightening her throat. She rushed through the hallway, fear drowning out reason. Her baby never left that room. No one had permission. Then she heard it. Soft humming. Coming from the master suite. Her hands shook as she crept toward the open door. Every worst thought crowded her mind until she saw him. Mr. Adrian Cole, the billionaire owner of the mansion. He stood by the window, cradling Leah in his arms, gently rocking her while humming an old lullaby. His suit jacket was gone. His expression, usually cold and untouchable, was something Maria had never seen before. Tender, Maria froze in the doorway. "What are you doing with my baby?" she whispered, her voice breaking. Adrian turned slowly, eyes widening in surprise. "Maria, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you." She rushed forward and took Leah, clutching her protectively. "You weren't supposed to be here." "I know," Adrian said quietly. "I came back early." Maria's mind raced, fear mixed with confusion. Anger followed close behind. "Why were you holding her?" she demanded. Adrian hesitated, then answered honestly. "She was crying. No one else was here. I couldn't just walk away." Maria stared at him. This man, who never learned staff names, who spoke in clipped commands, had been humming to her baby. "I lost my daughter," Adrian said suddenly. "A long time ago." The words landed heavy between them. "She cried like that," he continued softly. Same sound. Same way of reaching for someone. Maria didn't know what to say. The silence that followed wasn't tense. It was fragile. Adrian stepped back, giving her space. "I should have asked. I'm sorry." Maria looked down at Leah, now asleep. Tiny fingers curled into her shirt. Something had changed. She didn't yet know what it meant or how dangerous it might be. But one thing was clear. The mansion would never feel empty again. Maria barely slept that night. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Mr. Adrian Cole standing by the window, her baby in his arms, humming like a man who had forgotten how to breathe without pain. It didn't make sense. Nothing about him ever did. The next morning, the mansion returned to its usual rhythm, but something underneath had shifted. Adrian avoided her. He passed her in hallways with a polite nod, his face once again sealed behind professionalism. Maria told herself that was better, safer. Whatever she had seen the night before was none of her business, until the nursery door opened again. "Maria," Adrian said quietly. "May I speak with you?" Her hands tightened around the laundry basket. "About last night?" "Yes." He led her to the sunroom, a place no one ever used. Morning light spilled across the floor. For a moment, neither of them spoke. "I crossed a line," Adrian said. "I know that." Maria met his eyes. "You scared me." "I never wanted to," he replied. "I just didn't expect to feel anything." He took a slow breath. "My daughter was 3 months old when she died. Fever, too fast, too sudden." His voice didn't shake, but his hands did. "This house has been empty ever since. I kept it that way on purpose." Maria's heart softened despite herself. "I bring Leah to work because I can't afford childcare," she said quietly. "If that's a problem." "It's not," Adrian interrupted. "It's the first time this house has felt alive in years." The words surprised them both. From that day on, small changes appeared. Adrian approved Maria's request for flexible hours without question. A new crib appeared in a safer, brighter room, closer to where Maria worked. Security was instructed discreetly to treat Maria and Leah as priority. Still, whispers began. Other staff noticed. The glances, the quiet conversation stopping when Maria entered a room. One afternoon, Maria overheard it. "She planned this," someone muttered. "Gold digger," another said. "Using a baby to get close." The words burned. That evening, Maria packed her bag early. She would leave. Pride mattered more than comfort. As she reached the door, Adrian stopped her. "You're not leaving," he said, not as an order but a plea. "I won't be the reason for rumors," Maria replied. Or pity. Adrian stepped closer. You're here because you earned it. And because Leah reminded me of something I forgot. What? She asked. That love doesn't ask permission. It just shows up. Maria looked at him, torn between fear and something far more dangerous, hope. And neither of them realized that the biggest test wasn't behind them. It was coming. The rumors didn't fade. They grew. Maria felt it everywhere. In the way conversations stopped when she entered a room, in the glances that lingered too long, in the sudden coldness of people who once smiled. She kept her head down, focused on her work and on Leah, pretending none of it mattered. But it did. One afternoon, a woman arrived at the mansion unannounced. Elegant, confident, impossibly calm. Ms. Vance, she introduced herself to the staff. Mr. Cole's fiancé. The word hit Maria like a slap. She watched from the hallway as the woman toured the house, commenting on changes she didn't recognize. When her eyes landed on Leah, something sharp flickered behind her smile. Whose child is that? Ms. Vance asked. Mine, Maria answered before anyone else could speak. Ms. Vance looked her up and down. Interesting. That evening, Adrian called Maria into his office. I owe you honesty, he said. My engagement was arranged, business. I ended it today. Maria's breath caught. Because of me? No, Adrian said firmly. Because I realized I was living a life that looked right and felt empty. The next day, things turned ugly. Human resources arrived. An anonymous complaint had been filed. Accusations of inappropriate behavior, favoritism, manipulation. Maria was suspended pending investigation. She didn't argue. She packed her things quietly, Leah strapped to her chest. At the door, Adrian stood waiting. I won't let this happen, he said. Maria shook her head. You can't protect me from everything. He reached into his desk and pulled out a folder. Then let the truth speak. Inside were security logs, camera footage, written approvals, every decision documented, every boundary respected. Adrian had prepared for this long before rumors turned into weapons. The board reviewed everything. Maria was cleared. Publicly, Adrian called a staff meeting that afternoon. There will be no more speculation, he said, voice steady. Maria is here because she is valued. Anyone who cannot respect that will find employment elsewhere. Silence followed. For the first time, Maria didn't feel small. That night, after the mansion settled into quiet, Adrian sat beside Maria in the nursery. I don't want to be your boss right now, he said softly. I just want to be honest. Maria looked at him, heart pounding. Then tell me, she whispered. I care about you, he said, and about her, more than I ever planned to. Maria held Leah closer. The mansion had tested them, and they were still standing. But the hardest decision, the one that would change everything, had yet to be made.